Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags. Makes great gifts for family, friends, and loved ones 24/7. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and also phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM along with PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who's an actress, writer, improviser, and comedian from Atlanta, Georgia. She's a graduate of Second City and also of Georgia Tech and Georgia State. And she's seen on as a family matriarch as Read Aloud in the Emmy Award-winning series A Loud House Christmas. And, of course, a new project she co-created, wrote, and starred in Intersection. We'll talk about that. It's basically a dark comedy exploring the intersecting effects of gentrification and the lives of people that are living through it. And she's also have been in a number of projects as well, too. She's been in the Tribeca Film Festival, including The Transition, Peggy, and also she was on a CBS morning show, The Inspectors, and also co-wrote and starred quite a few web series, and also performs at the Village Theater. And she's also, got a podcast and a lot more to talk about. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Atlanta, the very multi-talented actress, writer, improviser, and comedian, Muretta Moss. Muretta, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning to you. Yeah, thanks for having me on, and you inspired me to wear my new glasses. I'm a new time glasses wearer, so I feel it. I feel a connection. We're looking pretty sharp.
And there's more than a couple eyes to see things as well, too. So yes, and of course we're here to debut your new glasses. Maybe start like a modeling brand or something, brand new glasses. So we're looking forward to that. So, yeah, I mean, you're not just wearing glasses. You're also an actress, writer, improviser, comedian from Atlanta. You're a graduate of Second City Theater, also Georgia Tech, and also Georgia State. You've been seen as a family matriarch in the Christmas series, Emmy Award-winning A Loud House Christmas. And you also have a new project you co-created, wrote, you starred. It's called Intersection. You also been in the Glorias and also The Game, Transition, Peggy, and more. And you also have been on CBS morning show, The Inspectors, and you also been in a couple of web series. You also have a podcast that's coming out. And before getting to all that, Muretta, tell us how you first got started.
I was in college. I didn't know what to do. And this like larger budget feature came on to campus. It was a college kind of raunchy comedy road trip directed by Todd Phillips, who was just
those road trip series. I remember those. Yes.
Yeah. So it came to school, and they like needed all of these extras for this like huge quad scene. And I, like me and all my friends, we signed up and we went there, and I got on set and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is here in Atlanta. I want to know more about this. I want to do this because I think we see people a lot of times on the TV and film and we're like, that's cool. They're really cool. But never think that I could actually do it.
Mhm.
So that's that I like auditioned and got like a more featured role in it. Like not, and just a great experience to like, it was just so fun. It was, yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like that's the one precise moment that simply influenced in what you're doing. And who are some of your favorite actors and actresses and also performers growing up?
You know, I I've never been someone that has favorites. I've always, I don't know why, like I've just never been like, yes, that one. But Julia Roberts, because rom-coms were just to die for, and then they still are. I love like the Bridget Jones Diaries. I'm a huge rom-com girl. And I know they're kind of, we haven't like had some like breakout rom-coms in the last probably decade, but
Hmm.
like Ryan. I mean, I really love Julie Bowen too. I guess I gravitate to like blonder actresses because that was just, I related to them. But yeah, and I loved watching, like when I was growing up, the Disney Channel show, the Mickey Mouse Club.
Oh,
So
yes. That's always everyone's favorite, irregardless of when, where, and everything. You always have the saying MICKEYMOUSC.
yeah, so I really like would fall in love if anyone was like on stage or performing and they were sort of funny. I was like, I like you.
Oh, really? That's interesting. You also consider yourself a comedian as well, too. Who's your favorite comedians growing up?
I didn't, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really like listen to like stand up. It's so weird that I tell you I'm such a late bloomer that it wasn't until college that I was like, oh, there's something outside of my of like, so for instance, like I just watched over and over again Saved by the Bell. Like that's what I did when I was younger.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say those are comedians. I didn't even know I was funny until like my late 20s. So I never really it wasn't until I took an improv class, which was just by like chance. Like it fit my acting schedule, and every like improv is just something that I learned about in Los Angeles. And I took a class and then I was like, oh, these are my people. I love this. I love getting on stage and performing, and I love doing it in an ensemble. So, really, Kristen Wiig, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, like those are also people that I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love
Tina Fey.
to.
She's one of my favorite comedians as well, too. In the modern days, like she is hilarious.
Yeah, she really is. So those are definitely some idols that I look up to. I mean, Julia Louis-Dreyfus though is like, she is so great in everything she does. So
Oh, yeah. Good old Seinfeld. Yada, yada,
yeah.
yada. And of course, you've been in some major projects as well, too. You're in Loud House Christmas, and you also have been in The Inspectors, The Transition, Peggy, and more. We'll talk about those in just 1 minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at soundwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Moslenzia for great merchandise, books, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Moslenzia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a multi-talented actress, writer, improviser, and comedian from Atlanta, Muretta Moss, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And Muretta, you had some amazing projects before you got into your breakthrough with A Loud House Christmas. You have been in The Transition and Peggy, which debuted at the Tribeca Film Festival back in 2019. And you also have been in The Inspectors on a CBS morning show. You also co-wrote and starred some web series like Died, Highlighted, and Hopeful, and also performed at the Village Theater in Atlanta. And maybe tell us about some of the projects you've done, like Transition, Peggy, The Inspectors, and more as well.
Well, there's so much going on here in Atlanta. And I love working with passionate people on anything, just so some of the things like The Transition, it is a short comedy that I wrote and starred in because I love telling stories and I love being on camera. So that was really funny. Made it with a bunch of local like artists and our production team. Peggy was something, it's such a good, you can go on I think the Tribeca website and see it now since everything's kind of streaming. We just made it in before, things were all virtual. And then, I think there's just so much, like it's filmed here. I have such a diverse credits because I have been in like very serious, like the biopic, The Glorias, directed by Julie Taymor, and about Gloria Steinem. And, I was just a supporting role on that. But that was by far, because I'm like a huge Gloria Steinem fan. I am a raging feminist, and I was so thankful to be part of that because it was just great to be part of her story. And then The Inspectors is a children's TV show. It ran, I think, for 5 seasons. I think it stopped in 2020, but that was super fun because it shot in Charleston and it was about U.S. postal inspectors. I love being in things that my nieces and nephews can see as well. So yeah, but it's kind of like, you don't think about crime in the postal, like USPS, but it's there. So.
Oh, I bet it is. I mean, going postal takes on a different meaning these days. So yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. And also, I forgot to mention, you also been in the game as well too, and tell us a very bit about that.
Oh, the game it now has a reboot, and I'm not sure where it is, but the game ran for many seasons, and I was a recurring as a local reporter, and that was great. And I'm really excited to see the reboot because it kind of took some time off for a few years, and now the game is back and better than ever.
And it sounds amazing as well too, since you're back in the game, and you also had been in the recent Nickelodeon and Paramount movie A Loud House Christmas, which was the TV Top Kids Entertainment telecast of 2021. You played the matriarch in that one, and tell us about A Loud House Christmas.
Yeah, so I play Read Aloud, and The Loud House is based off of the animated Nickelodeon series. It's run for, I think, I always say 5 seasons, and I think it is 5 seasons, Emmy Award winning, has a great fan base, and all these characters were already established as animations. And then Nickelodeon, and the producers took them and made us into real people. So I don't voice Read Aloud in the animation, which is still going on, but I got to play her. I'm like the real life Read Aloud, and it is so fun. It's a Christmas movie, but it is just so fun, and I think people will go to it year after year. Read Aloud has 11 kids, 10 girls and 1 boy, and it's basically told through the lens of this one boy, Lincoln Loud, living his life with his very loud family. And it was so much fun. They did everyone, the director, Jonathan Judge, Liz Macy, the writer, and then our hair, makeup, stylist, costumes. I mean, the set designers, everything was so good. You really felt like you were was magic just stepping out onto, like, out of the cartoon. I just imagine myself like opening the cartoon door and then whoo, there I am.
Almost like walking through a magic door, basically.
Yeah, it really was, because these kids are so talented in real life. I mean, we had like young ones, and then, and then up and through college, and so talented, like knew the series back and forth, and like, God, I'm just so impressed with everyone that I got to act with and make that, because even though we were like the family, the Loud family, we really felt like a family off of set too. I love those people so much.
It sounds like it as well, too. Of all the projects you've done, what do you consider the funnest you've done?
I mean, that's the thing. Again, I don't do like, oh, this one, because everything like in the moment is the most fun. And they all offer such different experiences. I mean, when I Died, Highlighted, and Hopeful was the first web series we did years ago. And that was just so much fun, because it was making something through my voice, being able to act something that I wrote. But the Loud House Christmas, I mean, that was it's just such a wonderful experience to get to play a character that people already know, and they just welcome you. And it was also really nice just to already have all this backstory done on my character. So I got to, I know who Rita Loud is, because she already existed.
And it sounds like it too. And if you were to had a choice of creating your own character, who would it be and why?
Oh, I mean, I love playing like different, quirkier versions of myself. So Dream would be like a romantic comedy lead. Sure, she's a little like, she's not like the ingenue anymore, but she's still got a story to tell and a man to find, or not. And then I also want to be like in a like a single camera or a sitcom. It's just like, I don't know, it's someone that has some depth to her, and gets to have some curiosity on life while mayhem ensues.
Mhm.
I was like just playing new things too. That's one thing I love about acting. It's even when like Read Aloud already existed, but it's still new, like me inhabiting her.
And of course, you also wrapped up a recent production on the dark comedy series Intersection. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international war ring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented actress, writer, improviser, and comedian from Atlanta, Muretta Moss, after this time out. We're back with the multi-talented actress, writer, improviser, and comedian from Atlanta, Muretta Moss, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And she was played Rita Loud in A Loud House Christmas, one of her breakthroughs, and also had been in The Inspectors and more. But you also just wrapped up a dark comedy series called Intersection, which you co-created, wrote, and starred in. And tell us more about that.
So Intersection, like you said, it's a dark comedy. It is based on a community that's going through the changes of gentrification. You see people that have been in the community for years being kind of no longer able to afford or even recognize their community. I have a real estate license, so I've had experience selling homes to clients in up and coming areas, and we don't always realize. I think everyone's has a right to affordable housing, but you don't necessarily realize some of the impacts you make on a community. And I mean, particularly one good friend who we actually co-created this, she bought a house in an up and coming area and flipped it, and I don't, whether she contributed to the gentrification of that neighborhood or not, we have these stories and experiences from our own lives that we were able to bring to the table. We had an all women's writers room, and that was like an interesting experience. And then we just really tried to have to tell stories through our perspectives, and then through other like diverse eyes that we couldn't always write for. So it's hitting festivals now. It's done, and we're just excited to see where it goes. We don't have answers to gentrification, but we do hope that it gets like conversations started, because some people look at it as like a good thing. It's cleaning up the neighborhood. And then to the people that's displacing, like it's horrifying and life-changing. So.
How about some of the stories that you feature in Intersection? Maybe just a few, short stories you can tell, or simply what can we expect?
Well, I mean, this is one that this happened in real life, and this didn't make it into the actual series, but we wrote it and then we had to rewrite it. The series like went through like so much, but we used it in our sizzle when we were pitching it. And from my experience, I always knock on doors when I'm selling houses to like check out the neighborhood. Do we know what's happened in this house before? How do people feel about their neighborhood? Are there any crazy neighbors? So I was showing houses, and this clients really liked this house, went across the street, knocked on the house, and I asked like, hi, we're looking at this house. Why'd you move to this neighborhood? Because she had moved just a couple of years ago, and she said she wanted to live in a historically Black neighborhood. And I was like, oh, okay. Because it was me, and I was showing two other white people this house, and I was like, oh, okay. Like she was basically like, no, thank you to you. Like this is a historically Black neighborhood, and I moved here to keep it that way. And I didn't know what to do. This was the first time I was confronted with something like that, and I was just like, oh, okay, thank you so much. I probably would dig a little deeper now, even though no one has to explain anything to me. But that's just one of that's a perspective that I want to share, and I want to get to know. And we take those people into the film, and we're into the series. So yeah.
And what got you interested in gentrification?
Well, I think like those moments, I, as an actress and a real estate agent, so I play a real estate agent in the show. A lot of artists are the first kind of contributors to gentrification, because they are they're up and coming people themselves with mixed incomes. And so they move into a neighborhood that they can afford. And then that makes it then they help build the neighborhood in a way, by increasing property taxes and stuff. So real life experiences, because I was selling a lot of homes to a lot of artists in a lot of diverse neighborhoods, that they could potentially change the look of the neighborhood, and whether they're consciously doing it or not.
That's really interesting. And where can we find Intersection at, and all your works at?
Well, you can go to Intersection the series like on socials, and but we're gonna have like a festival debut, so it's just kind of seeing which one that is, and then hopefully picked up for distribution. So it's like TBD, which is just a lot of things in my life right now are TBD. Yeah.
Right, especially with the pandemic and everything else that's going on. We completely understand. And once again, we're with actress, writer, improviser, and comedian from Atlanta, Muretta Moss, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few more minutes here before we find out what's coming up for you. You also have a podcast that you also launched about co-parenting from a step-parent's perspective called Counter Parenting. And tell us more about that.
Yeah, so counterparenting, I'm a stepmom and I don't have any children of my own. So it was such an interesting experience becoming a stepmom. You instantly have this bonus family. I mean, not instantly, there was like integration involved. It wasn't just one day, I'm here. But I was having some trouble like adjusting to not just like the kids and their expectations and wants and needs from me. Because sometimes it doesn't feel like they want anything from me, to then like the relationship of the other primary parent. So seeing the interactions between two divorced people still raising children, even though they're divorced, it is, wow. I know a lot of people do it. It's challenging though. And it's also, we have the kids half of the time. So it's a lot of just back and forth. And, people usually get divorced for a reason. So, and because they might disagree on even very fundamentals of raising children. So it's just eye-opening, and it was challenging. And I wanted to talk to other people and kind of form a community, because I did not have that. I have like some step parent friends, but I wanted to talk to experts. So I talked to lawyers, I talked to like family therapists, and just other people who know more than I do. So I can appropriately like have the boundaries and provide in a way that these children might need. And that might be different than biological children.
And what can listeners expect or get out of the podcast?
Well, I hope if you are new to step parenting or in a relationship, I think that you could learn things of like, these are questions that you might want to know before you step in and become like an official step parent. And yeah, so I think that, and if you already are a step parent, I think you'll find like some knowledge that you might not have known, in community. Like really, you're like, oh, okay, that's really great to know. Oh, I learned that then. So just kind of, it's a sharing place, but podcasting it was a lesson to learn.
And you're certainly doing a good job of it. And where can we find counter parenting at?
You can find that anywhere, like that you get your podcast. So Pandora, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. I don't know, Google Play, maybe. It goes out everywhere. And then also at YouTube at Counter Parenting Podcast. So if you are more of a visual person, you can watch the podcast.
We certainly will check that out. Once again, we're with the multi-talented Muretta Moss of Atlanta, Georgia, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more minutes. You've been totally amazing. Love to have you back. What can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Muretta?
I'm excited for 2022. And like I said, it's TBD. There's things that we can't necessarily talk about. I'm excited. Yeah. You sign NDA disclosures sometimes and you're like, but this was so much fun. So, but like any actor, I'm like auditioning and like kind of looking for like what is next as well. But I do want to continue to create and tell stories.
That's certainly amazing, and we're looking forward to it. You're doing a great job. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My therapists, honestly. Oh, they've taken me, they've like grown me exponentially as a person, which honestly, and I'm not joking, where I think it's made me a better performer. But I've had some wonderful acting teachers too, like and like just like my improv community. So I might not be starstruck, but there's been a lot of people. There's been a lot of people that have helped me on my way.
And sounds like it as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
If you have an inkling to do something creative, follow it. The world needs to hear your story. The world loves art, and that's, I think art fosters community. Like here we are, no matter what form. If you want to start a podcast, if you write your film, acting and being creative and an artist isn't just being like a famous celebrity. You can find fulfillment in the very little things. And I hope that one does follow that, because you don't have to be good at your hobbies. No one's stepping out and being like an instant star. You can like take an improv class and mess up. And I think that we should find fun in.
I think that's a really good point as well, too. Once again, actress, writer, improv, and comedian Muretta Moss from Atlanta here on the Mike Wagner Show. Muretta, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
Yeah, so at Muretta Moss on Instagram and Twitter, follow me, please. Like I'd love to chat. And then also go, if you're interested in about like step parenting and have questions, go to counterparentingpodcast.com.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Muretta, very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you.